It is now time for What's Hot, where we talk about the stories that have everybody talking.
Today we're joined by Paulsen from BizStarts Milwaukee, and Jeff Wagner is back. So this German athlete,
Ariane Friedrich,
right, expected to contend for a medal at the upcoming Summer Olympics. She has posted the name and email address of a Facebook stalker who allegedly has been sending her explicit photographs over the social networking service. Now, German officials are investigating whether what she did was illegal. In Germany, the names of offenders are not released to the media. Should she be punished?
No.
I love how the victim now becomes a suspect.
No, I mean, look, this isn't the state that's publishing the name of the guy. I mean, this is this individual. I mean, the woman says, this is what this creep is doing to me. This is who he is. Now, if it turns out that that's not true, then he's got a lawsuit against her for defamation or whatever the equivalent would be. But no, this is the victims fighting back. I have no problem. Matter of fact, I'd give this gal a medal for doing that. She shouldn't have to take this.
Yeah, she should already get the gold. This shows how everything's different now with social media outlets. He's communicating with her inappropriately over Facebook. She decided to fight back and actually post his information. That's going to embarrass him, probably stop him from doing that, and other people from doing that in the future. I mean, this is Deterrent City. I'm glad she did it.
Yeah, I mean, see, that one of the horrible things about the internet is that this anonymity that's out there. There's all sorts of great things, but you know, whether it's with email or whether it's Facebook or these things, you have some of these creeps that are out there that think that they can get away with this stuff anonymously and that they're never going to get called out. And even if the authorities catch them, nothing really ever is going to happen. I'd love to see a little bit of self-help, and that's what this is.
Yeah, and
I
now
hope more people do it.
Yeah, now he can't hide, so maybe that'll make him cease and desist.
Right, and maybe it'll make somebody else think twice before they do this kind of stuff to someone else.
Because nothing on the internet is anonymous. People think it is. It's not.
Yeah, you can track if
little
you
public
have the
shaming.
know-how.
Little public shaming is always a good thing.
And she can always use Photoshop to shame him even further.
Well, hopefully everybody leaves her alone.
Eric, thank you.
You're welcome.
Didn't we just have, never mind. Coming up next, a website that hooks up attractive men and women willing to take them around the world. But is this a little too close to prostitution? BizStarts Milwaukee and Jeff Wagner from News Radio 620 WTMJ. So a Catholic school teacher in Indiana is suing a Catholic diocese there, claiming she was unlawfully fired after school officials learned she was undergoing fertility treatments to become pregnant. She says a church official called her a grave, immoral sinner and added that the news of her IVF treatments got out. That would cause a scandal for the church. Now, should church leaders have the right to fire her for doing this?
We've heard a similar argument before when it comes to like birth control and
similar
Catholic institutions providing it for employees or covering the cost.
See, this ties into something we were talking about when we were discussing it during the sound-off segment. I mean, as I always say, just because you have a right to do something doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. I think legally the church, in this case the diocese, has a right to do this. I mean, they have a right. I think it's very, very clear. You know, you can't sue the Catholic Church for discrimination because they don't make women priests. I mean, I think they have a right to do it. In this particular case, though, candidly, exercising that right, I think is wrong. I don't think what this woman's doing is really anything wrong.
Not at all. I mean, this is in the name of having more children with her husband.
Right.
And the thing is, they say that some embryos can get destroyed during these processes. She is saying when she was going through hers, that didn't even happen. Her direct report was okay with it. And it was when she went up the ladder later on that suddenly it turned out to be this big deal. And then the guy who was saying that would cause a scandal for the church, it wouldn't have caused a scandal for the church, but it is causing a scandal now.
Is anyone concerned at all, disturbed, that there's any situation in this country where you have to check with your direct report before you make a personal medical decision for yourself?
Well, we might be heading more into those times, actually.
Well,
which is scary.
It is, except at the same time, I mean, she's working for the equivalent of a religious institution, and I think the flip side of that is, you know, the government shouldn't be able to, you know, dictate to the religious institution, you know, how it's going to deal, whether it has to hire employees who are going to violate the teachings of that religion. Again, having said that, though, I think the church is wrong on this one.
All right, third topic, guys, a website matching up sugar daddies and sugar babies with extra incentives.
Are you attractive but you don't have the money to travel? What if you could travel around the world, stay in 5-star resorts, dine at top-rated restaurants, and do the fun things travelers do, all for free? On MissTravel.com, there are thousands of frequent travelers who hate to travel alone. These generous travelers are
All right,
doctors.
the question is, what are those fun things? BizTravel.com pairing up rich people who hate to travel alone and attractive people who can't afford to go to those exotic locations. Question, does this site toe the line when it comes to prostitution?
Indirectly, of course.
Yeah,
Basically, I mean,
It's a good sell, though. Did you hear the woman's voice?
Yeah, come on. Here, come see the world here. And we've got some 80-year-old rich guy. You know, this is one where I think it's on both perspectives. Let the buyer beware. Yeah, this is the equivalent of the escort services and things like that. And I guess, does it toe the line? Yeah. Can it easily cross over that line? You know, you betcha. But from a bigger perspective, you know, how pathetic on both sides. I mean, for the rich sugar daddies, okay, this is what you have to do to get a companion. And for the attractive young women, this is what you have to do to get a trip. Give me a break.
Yeah, this is wrong on so many levels. Sooner or later, personality is going to have to come into play with some of these relationships. It's really kind of sleazy. And there's going to be a lot of situations where a lot of women are going to go on these trips and regret it. And we're going to hear a lot of those stories if this thing actually takes off.
Well, wait a second. Why do we just think it's women? I mean,
And
come on,
men too,
Eric.
yeah.
You know, maybe you're single. You know, maybe you could get onto this
There
thing.
could be
Find
some
somebody
cougars out there.
Absolutely, take you around.
Ooh, note to self: make more money. Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Got a little song in my head right now.
You know, there's nothing illegal about it or anything like that, but it's cryptically we know what it's all about, and it's just kind of a wrong thing, and it's a little sleazy.
So there.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
on
my
that note, just a little sleaze. We'll take a quick break and we will be right back.